Hello everyone, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. It's Charlotte. I hope you're having a fantastic start to a new week. In case you didn't catch the little mini journal that I did for Angel Dream Crafts Kim, I think it was posted Sunday. Was it posted yesterday, Saturday or Sunday? I decided I wanted to do another little mini journal and thought I would turn the camera on and we could do one together. So what you're going to need is some chipboard or cardboard, something maybe from a cereal box. Any cardboard box would do. And a bone folder, some type of glue. It could be Mod Podge, it could be Collage Podge. I am going to be using PVA glue, and I am going to be using some Tyvek tape. I used to use Tyvek. That is what the mailers, the white envelopes are made of. You can get that at on Amazon. You can get it on at Home Depot, probably too at Lowe's in the building supply area. The Tyvek tape, I'm pretty sure I got this at Home Depot. You don't have to have this, but this is what I am going to use to put this together, to put the spine together with the front and the back cover. So what I am doing, these measure, just for those of you that are curious, 3.5 by, I think it's a little over 4.5. Yeah, it's like 1/8 over 4.5. And then I have a 1-inch spine, 1-inch spine. So this is my process, and you may have seen multiple processes, but this is how I created the last one. So this is how I am going to be creating this one. I'm going to put a little bit of washi tape, and you could use Scotch tape. I did use Scotch tape on the last one, but it tore the chipboard when I removed it. It wasn't a big deal, but still, it did tear it. Put some there. You could use painter's tape if you don't have washi tape. Masking tape you can use. I'm going to put my spine about 1/8 of an inch from my back cover. Just like that. And then I'm going to take the cover and I am going to do the same thing. About 1/8 of an inch, I think. It might be a good idea if you have a chipboard piece or a ruler or something like that that you could put in between so that you know you have it the way you want, but that looks good to me. This is where I am going to take my Tyvek tape, because I am going to tape these all together. And I'm going to pull this to the other side. So I'm going to take 2 pieces. And like I said, you don't have to use Tyvek tape. This is just the way that I do it. You could use a piece of cardstock. You could use fabric. I am going to cover this with fabric. So that will happen. And this is strictly a peel and stick. I'm going to try to get this into the center as best I can. And I see I'm going to go right over that washi tape, but that's okay. That will be all right. Then we're going to do the exact same thing to the other side. I had so much fun making the other little mini journal that I just thought, let's just do another, and we'll put the camera on. So I'm going to come down like that. Now I'm going to burnish this. And I'm going to flip this over. And you can save this washi tape for another project. Okay, so I'm going to flip this over. And we are going to do this one first because this is underneath. We are going to come up. And don't worry, you're not going to see the washi. You're not going to see any of this tie back when we're done. I'm going to burnish it really, really well. Just like this. And then we're going to kind of find our spine, the part that's in between your spine and your covers, and just give it a good 1-2 there. Hopefully you can see that. So that we've got our front cover, we've got our spine, we've got our back cover. We look pretty doggone good. So now what I want to do is put my covers on, inside and out. So I'm going to lay this down here because we're going to be messing with our glue. So it doesn't matter, I don't think, what's the front, what's the back. So this will be our front. And I came across these pages. I am in the process of cleaning out. And I just wanted to let you know, some of you have asked, I am putting together another ephemera pack. I think I might only have one, but I am putting that together, and I will list that in my Etsy, but I will do a share when I get it together so you can see what that looks like. So isn't this just like the prettiest cardstock? Love this. So I'm thinking this is going to be our cover. We are going to go like that. So I've got a little bit of watered down PVA glue here. And that is what we are going to be using. And if you're worried about your chipboard curling, just give it a good chance to dry and set it between something that's weighted, and you should be okay. What you could do with this if you wanted to is fold over your edges. I'm not going to do that. I don't feel I need to. And so I just made it so that it fits, making sure that I still can bend. Isn't that so cute? I'll show you what I mean by that in just a second. Let me get the back on, and I think the back will be, this was a one of those life cards, and I thought it went so well together. So that is going to be the back. Project Life cards, I think they called them. And then of course, you can always take this to the machine if you want to stitch. Let's check it out, see what we've got. Make sure that we fit right and we look good. If you have to trim, you can. You can distress if you want to distress. I can trim there. I see I may have just missed it, just the tiniest bit, but I think we're gonna be okay. So if that's our outside, now we're gonna do the inside, and I've got these two really pretty pieces of paper here that I thought looked really good and would go really well. So we are going to glue these on. We'll glue the front and the back. Just like this. The inside cover. Make sure that we are not overlapping at all, because that's going to affect opening and closing this little book. And then we're going to do the same thing for the back. You can see how we're starting to curl, but we're not going to worry about that. We can take care of that. Okay. So we need this to dry really well. But this is how cute our book is going to be. Look at that. There's your front. You can see how you're starting to curl, but don't worry. I'm going to flatten this out. There's our back, and we are off just a little bit up there. But we can take care of that if we wanted to stress it. That's not going to be a problem. So now what we're going to do is we are going to cover our spine. And to cover our spine, I have a piece of really, really cute fabric. So we are going to tear a piece of this, and we're going to look at exactly where we are going to do that. And I think this right here we don't want. So we are going to, let's come over about that far. You see, I'm going to come over probably a good 1/4 of an inch. Doesn't matter, you can come over as far as you want. Whoop, sorry. My arm stuck to the bone folder. So we will check this out. Hopefully this will go all the way around the outside and the inside of our little book. So let's see what we've got here. Get our strings out of here. And, oh, perfect. Kind of want it to come to the bottom, and it does. That is perfect. So I think we're going to start on the inside. And for this, I am going to get out my Fabrifix or Fabri-Tac, and I am really right down to the end of this bottle. Hopefully, I will have enough to be able to do this. Try to get it centered. I don't want to have to open up a new bottle right now if I don't have to. And I just kind of get in there with my finger because I don't want it all globbed up. We will have probably 2 signatures, maybe 3, depending upon how many pages we're going to add. So you're not really going to see this. Now, if you don't want to see your fabric, you can put your fabric first or your paper. I'm using fabric, but you can use paper. And you could put it down and then put your cardstock on your inside covers. But I wanted to see the fabric, so I intentionally did it like this. And I don't want to do what I'm just doing because I forgot I have to do this. So what are you doing, Charlotte? We need to get our fabric on here. Probably would have worked the other way. This wouldn't have gone anywhere, but that is not what I wanted to do. So let's do this, and now we can do this. Okay, no problem. I'm a little bit long, I can see, so we're gonna trim this. I'm gonna trim this off just a little bit. And let's see where we are. It's a little bit, I'm so uneven, I can't believe it. It is so hot here, guys. I mean, about 100 and something is what it is. So see, I just like to see that fabric. I think it looks good. And like I said, if you want, you can take this to the sewing machine. Take this to the machine and stitch all around it. I am going to look at this and just make sure that I'm happy with my edges, as I know I can see, I don't know if you can see just the tiniest little bit right there. And just the tiniest, I don't think it even matters. So you have to look at that and decide. If that bothers you, I think if I went ahead and just distressed it lightly, you wouldn't see that at all. So we'll go around and we'll distress it. But we're going to take our bone folder and we're going to find the space in between our covers and our spine. And we're just going to do a little indentation there, just to say, hey, we are here and we know we're here. Just like that. And then if we pick this up, look at how pretty that is. And if this bothers you, little lace wouldn't hurt anything before you put your signatures in. But once your signature's in, you're not going to see that. And then you might want to just check underneath and see if you have places that might need a little bit of glue. This needs a little bit of glue, so let's go ahead and do that. And I probably could use the PVA glue and do that, but I really would like to use what little bit of this I have left over so that I can get rid of this bottle. It really is just this simple. Great way to get rid of any scraps that you might have of your fabrics, any little scraps you might have of your chipboard. And then the same here, although this looks pretty good. So what you're going to have then, look at how cute that's going to be. Look at that. There's your spine, there's your back. And I will, see how it's just bent a little bit? It's the moisture on one side that seeped through before we did the other side. Not a problem, because like I said, if we stick this under something heavy, it will straighten out. So now let's go ahead and get out our, just going to use Vintage Photo because I have it. And we're not going to go heavy. We're just going to do very lightly. We're not going to worry about the fabric. See? You can't even tell that you have a little bit of chipboard. But like I mentioned, if that bothers you, I mean, we could put a little bit of metallic gold. But if that bothers you, go ahead and trim it. And I'll tell you, if you wanted to wrap it and you're not familiar with the wrapping method, I will explain that to you too, right after we do this. And we'll do it, of course, on both sides. I think it actually added to the beauty of this paper. It's going to be a really cute little book. Just was in the mood for another little journal. I need to get my pages printed for my Medieval Mirage design team project. I have something in mind for that. So let's have a look at this and see what we think. There's our cover. Actually, that does look better because you've got the brown tones in the birds. That is the back. When you open it up, that is the inside. That's really, really pretty. So I'm glad we did that. But you could take a piece of lace and just put it at the top and at the bottom if you wanted to, right there on your spine, and that is what it would look like on the other side. So really pretty. I might just end up doing that because I think that does look really, really pretty. So we might just do that. Why don't we? But before we do that, what I wanted to explain to you is if you wanted to wrap your chipboard, what you would do is you would take your paper, you would cut it down to size, and then you would cut your ends. You would come in like this, leaving just the tiniest, like 1/8 of an inch. You'd cut your corners, these 2 corners here, and then you would fold these 3 sides and glue. And then when you put your inside piece over, you would not see, your inside piece would cover where your folds are. So if I was doing a larger journal, that I probably would have done that. But with this little one, I'm not worried about it. But I think I will go ahead and use this pretty, let's see what that will look like. I am thinking this is going to be really pretty. So let's try it. You'll see the other side. So I think I'm going to do, well, no, I'll do right side up. All right, let's do that. So a little bit of our Fabrifix just right here. You're not going to need a lot, just enough to keep it down. And I am going to put the wrong side up. So then we're going to do the same thing on this side. And then we'll see how that looks. I think it's going to be really pretty. I think we're going to like it. And then the next video, we will be putting pages together, getting our signatures, probably 3 small signatures is what I'm guessing. That is what it looks like. If you turn it over, you can tell if you're even top to bottom. So then when this is closed, that's what you're going to see. That looks really pretty. You have your signatures, but you'll see that. And I think even though you don't have anything up here, it just looks really pretty. If this bothers you, just cut it off and make it smaller so that it is just on the very edge and doesn't hang over. Let's do that and see what that looks like. I think we are early enough with this to do that. And we can use these little pieces here for a tag or something like that. Our Fabrifix is not yet dry. These cute little pieces. So let's see what we've got. Like I said, this is going to be covered up. There we go. I like that better. So that's what we look like. Cute. It's going to be really, really pretty, guys. And if you're, like I mentioned before, if you're not at all familiar with the one that I had shown, it is in my last video. So hop over and take a look. And just get out your cardboard, get out your scraps, and put a bunch of these together. And then you can get out your scraps of paper and we'll put some signatures in this. It's gonna be really cute. So I hope you enjoyed this. I am going to go flatten this out, let it dry overnight, and I will catch you in the next video. Thanks so much everyone for watching. Bye.